year, we did a contract that we put a date on it, and now it's coming due. And Tony and myself and the village president, we looked at along with the chief about keeping the same contract, renewing it to, move forward until we get the police commission going and stuff like that. So, we've all got copies of the contract. How do you wish to proceed? Need a motion to move it forward, so.
I'll make a motion to move that forward.
Got a motion, looking for a second? I'll second. Okay, now we got discussion. Any discussion with the board?
Well, I'm wondering what the term, what is the term that we're looking at? Are we going another year or?
It's 6 months.
Okay,
And then automatically renews another 6 months. And I'm hoping we can have this, commission in place, but we have to cover all our angles. The village is a little bit different steps than the town is, and Tony's working on getting those steps together. The police commission did their stuff already, and got the agreement together. It's gonna be addressed by both boards going forward, and all that stuff.
okay, that's good. I wanna just understand what are there any impediments that we're seeing to getting that commission put in place?
No, it's
Is it
just timing, and it's, getting in connection with the village president. He's been looking for a new person right there, and I haven't been able to meet with him.
Yeah.
So, that's, you know, we're supposed to meet this week, so.
Okay.
Chief, you've talked to Adam, stuff like that, or, you know, just basic timing, that's right.
Yeah, I'm again wanting to know whether or not anyone's seeing any red flags, if there's any concerns about moving forward. I've seen the draft contract that the police committee worked on with the village. All that looks good. Seems like it's heading us in the direction that makes a lot of sense. I just am looking for an update on, you know, how long is it gonna take and any red flags?
It's timing right now is what it is.
Because we have to do a referendum, they don't have to, but they have to.
They got something to do,
They
so.
have some other stuff they gotta do, but it's just time.
Okay,
And I don't see go forward sooner than later. That's
so nobody's concerned, nobody's worried about it.
fine. Chief, everything going fine, right?
I'm not concerned about it. The only concern I have is getting everybody in the same room. And trying to get both boards, your board and the village board in the same room. I found that worked a lot easier and got a lot more accomplished when both of the committees, the ad hoc committees got together. So,
Okay,
I personally would like to see this move at some point here towards more collaboration between the village and the town and more cost sharing. Right now, it's a contract, and it looks to me like it's a bare minimum service contract. I don't see a third shift included in the contract. I am assuming there is a third shift, or maybe I should not assume that.
so the contract that we're talking about tonight is just to extend out until the police commission can get one. If you don't have a copy of the other contract that the committee's worked on, I can get that, and if you have any questions on it, please reach out. The other one is more of what you're talking about. It's the long-term solution. It's combining of resources, combining of everything to have one police department that is truly funded and represented. But you're right, what you have in front of you here is basically pushing it out 6 months to get ready for referendum and figuring out actual cost share. In that, the earlier one, the longer term one that everybody should have now, I didn't put in exact cost for each, because I want everybody in the same room, so that you can look through all of that. And I broke it down, all kinds of things, calls for service and timing for both communities for the past couple of years, so that's something that's above my pay grade, where you guys can discuss exactly how you want to do it.
so Chief, we're feeling good about the collaboration that we're getting from the village. We feel like everybody is generally pulling in the same direction in terms of where we'd like to go with this.
I believe so. And to Supervisor McCormick's point, I think a lot of people on both boards are looking at what further collaboration can happen. But the way I always explain it is that first domino has to fall. And it just so happens that the police department was picked as that guinea pig to be that domino. And there are quite a few other areas and opportunities to save money. Courts being one that I think would be an easy one to do, which might have been that easy domino if we would have picked that first to fall, where that could get done fairly quickly, fairly easily, and save a good amount of money for both communities. It's been done before.
Okay, so.
Is it expected that that'll be done by the end of the year,
The
the, joint police, commission?
A lot of it depends on timing and getting the boards together, because, like Supervisor Hamilton said, we would need to put it on a referendum, so that the timeframes statutorily for that are still there.
So do we wanna have a clause in the contract then that identifies that the formation of a joint police committee would also be grounds for terminating the agreement?
I think that was something that we had brought up, and that, if that happens, this would, it would supersede this, but if you're saying it'd be better to have a clause in there.
Well, cause otherwise it takes 180 days notice. I mean, I'm sure that can be waived by mutual agreement, but nice to have stuff solid.
I like Bob's suggestion. I mean, Tony, I don't know how big a deal that is, but if there's just a minor tweak and then another clause to put in there, that if we do form the commission in the timeliness that we're trying to move towards, that would terminate this contract, then we're moving on to the
Well,
new
the
world.
problem I have with that is, again, the village may be voting on this tonight too, I didn't look at their agenda. So my suggestion would be, use the 180 thing in, and as we do, MOU, the third shift, because, you know, if we're covering third shift and sheriffs are not, doing a little more, if the sheriffs are rolling over calls at nighttime and we have to respond to the village, it's not gonna be our tax dollar pay for it, the village has to pay for that. I mean, what we have in neighborly, I don't know how many calls you think we respond to from the village per shift?
I couldn't pull numbers, I didn't break them down by shift and village town,
Yeah, but that's fine, I just wanna make sure, and I'm, village president is well aware that we, you know, our third shift is working, and we're not gonna let our neighbors, just like mutual aid, stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I'm not questioning that. I don't think anyone's questioning it.
I'm
I
just
think
saying, if you guys wanna change the agreement right now, it's gonna be harder to do with the village possibly voting on it tonight.
what I read from what Bob suggested, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, whatever, I think there's a general vibe and sense that we wanna see this happen as quickly as possible. That there's a sense of urgency to getting the joint police department in place, the commission in place, and, you know, anything, whether it be a legal clause in the contract that says you've got 180 days to terminate or whatever, feels like it could be unnecessarily delaying things, unless we have a plan to address that.
Yeah, but you also have to look at the timing when you put this in, because both of us are gonna start working on their budgets in September. Ideally, yeah, starting the first year is great, we have to pick a time frame, July 1st, for everybody's accounting purposes. The other thing you're gonna have to look at when this goes through, some scheme cuts, and how, you know, what I mean, other than splitting it per month. So again, that's why, I sort of put Supervisor Handeland in charge of moving this forward, my assistant, because it has dragged on longer than I wanted it to. But we gotta move forward with it. But again, we really got their thing they have to do right now, and, I mean, they have a lot going on too, so.
So just for clarification for the board too, it's essentially in there for purposes of under section 1 on the term, and then as well under section 10, general provision for the modification that the contract can be changed as long as it's in writing. That 180 days only applies if it's a notice of termination from one party to the next. If there is a commission, the town and the village are in agreement on this, and it's just gonna be a one-line, well, maybe not one line, a one-page thing that's going to essentially terminate this contract.
All right, good enough. I mean, good information, good discussion.
Did I understand correctly that the town has to have a referendum in order to do a joint agreement?
For the commission, for the formation of the commission, yeah.
And are we planning to try and get that on the November ballot?
We talked about it, yeah. Like I said, I've not met with Adam yet, and I wanna make sure that everything proceeding as we sort of planned a little bit, and that's the whole purpose. You know, assigning somebody to do it along with myself, and so, and they'll have a new, I think they're hiring a new, person tonight for their board, so. Alright, so I have a motion and a second vote. All right, call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Short-term rentals. Supervisor Yuan, you wanna